Hey there, Agur the Wise back here with 4 more packs to open. See what we crack. Let's start. Another profit. Very interesting here. Let's check it out. Joel, son of Pethuel. Green, 212. Interesting stats there. Um, minor profit. X equals number of cards shuffled by this card. You may shuffle up to 7 cards from your hand to draw X. Once per game, you may play and convert an evil human from a deck. Cannot be negated. Wow. That is cool. I've never seen that type of ability. So once per game, you get to take an evil human straight from a deck and convert it to a hero. Huh. That's really, really cool. Never even considered anything like that. So the other ability is shuffling up to 7 cards from hand to draw X. So you can trade out your hand to. That's not bad either. Obviously, you can get punished by cards that'll notice you drawing a lot, but otherwise, that's pretty cool. Converting an evil human from a deck, that is just a powerful effect because a lot of evil characters do really well as heroes when they get converted. This guy himself doesn't band, but imagine attacking with this guy. It's a 212. They block, and you get to band to the hero you just created from an evil character. I like the guy. Very cool, very powerful, very fun. None to rescue. Brown enhancement. XX. X is equal to the number of meek lost souls you control. Reserve a hero or up to X heroes. You may draw X. Limit 3. So X is only limited on the draw. If you have 7, 8, 9 meeks, you could reserve 9 heroes, and you can draw 3. So interesting card. It would also be a 9/9 enhancement if you had 9 meek souls. And you can build more than you can have a bunch of weak souls from your lost soul generating souls for you. Um, Still don't love it. It is potential battle winner, but it's slow. No modifiers, and I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze on this one. Definitely cool card. Strong and very strong in draft because you're playing a lot more meek souls in draft, and if you can hit this and cripple their offense and draw 3, that's amazing. So I think it's better in draft than in constructed, but definitely pretty cool. None to rescue, good art too. Another prophet, Amos of Tekoa. Minor prophet. You may discard an evil enhancer from deck. Okay, we've seen this one. Or shuffle an evil card, except a dominant controlled by each player. Cannot be interrupted. We talked about this guy. He's pretty cool. Not like the best, but I think he's pretty useful. And brown enhancement here, 0/6. No strength to stand. You may take an Old Testament brown card from deck or reserve. Persian may ban to an evil Old Testament human. Again, slow card here. I don't think this is going to be an amazing card. It does get you a card from reserve and does let you ban to any evil Old Testament human. You could probably ban to your opponents too if they're running an Old Testament defense. Still, because you can't play this in special initiative, it's not. She's not incredible to me, and enhancements need to be really good to see a lot of play. So I would be surprised to see this seeing regular play, maybe as your final an extra enhancement, but it doesn't. I don't see the strength in this one to stand on. So that covers our first pack. Very nice rare there, converting an evil human straight out of deck. That's cool. You can pull Saul out, convert him to Paul basically. He's a good character. Whoa, we got our first ultra rare from the set. Let's check it out. Michael the Guardian. If your Daniel hero is harmed, first off, he's a 12/8, white silver Brigade Angel. If your Daniel hero is harmed, you may top deck it instead. May ban to a Daniel human and or Old Testament angel. Cannot be negated. Wow. Okay, so few things here. Warrior class, Silver Brigade, White Brigade. Very cool, very cool. Note that CBN, so you're getting all these abilities for sure. He gets to ban to a Daniel human and an angel, two bans on the same character. That is incredible. I imagine this if there's any Daniel offense, this is definitely one of the best heroes in it for sure. Like we talked with Daniel. Daniel's a good hero. This guy is even higher than Daniel, even more powerful than Daniel. Very cool. I love angels, scripturally speaking, in spiritual warfare. So this is awesome. He may even be better than the original Daniel, Michael, Daniel version of Michael, because that one's amazing too. So he's got a lot to. He's got a hard spot to fight for, but I think being able to ban to two different characters on his own might be enough for him. CBN, amazing. Banning to an Old Testament angel and a Daniel human, cool. And then the Daniel hero is harmed. You may top deck it instead. He gives you a way to recover your hurt heroes with a replacement effect. So that's pretty awesome. Definitely the strongest card I pulled so far out of all of these. Let's check out the next card in that pack, Servants of the King, generic. Daniel, this is a Daniel hero, 2/7. You may bounce a human, may ban to a generic Daniel human, or you may draw two. So Servants of the King lets you bounce a human. So you could usually use that if they have some sort of territory class human in play that is causing problems, or you can bounce a character that has multiple uses, like an evil side and a good side. So that's interesting. There's probably some specific niche use for that. But otherwise, let you ban to another generic Daniel human. I don't know how many generic Daniel humans there are, but assuming if they had their own Servants of the King, you could ban to their Servants of the King. And the draw 2 is nice. It looks like it might be a useful tool for the Daniel deck. I'm definitely not seeing tons of power necessarily, but it might be a tool that the Daniel deck would use eventually. So that's pretty cool. Let's check out the next one here. Silver Enhancement. 4/1, Behold the Lord. Shuffle all evil characters in battle and opponents' evil fortresses. Okay, so a battle winner, again slow, not able to be played during special initiative. I'm not in love with it. It gets evil characters in battle, doesn't even hit their characters in territory. Hits their evil fortresses, which is nice, but without a modifier on this, with it being slow, it's not impressive to me. You'd have to have a really good way to play this. Maybe either way to make Isaiah enhancements CBN, I'm not sure, but I don't expect this card to see play without something boosting it up for sure. At least for my sake, my thoughts. Overlooked Ordinance, we talked about it yesterday. This is the one that locks up the artifact slot. Very cool card. I think that's a very good card. At least that's what I would guess. So we got an ultra rare. That was awesome. Very cool. So let's check out what we got in this next pack. Okay, let's see here. Another enhancement to go with our Michael. Do not question. 7/0. Negate evil enhancements. If all heroes in battle do not share a book, negate other good enhancements. So, this is... Okay. I don't love it. It's a rare, so you're like, oh, I'm hoping this got some power behind it. Negate. It starts off great with negate evil enhancements, and then you're expecting some extra juice. And it's if all heroes in battle do not share a book, negate other good enhancements. So basically, this one is calling for you to run mono book offense, and that's one of the things. Like, I compare this with one of my favorite cards from Gospel of Christ, Amazing Faith, which negates evil cards. It gets you a dominant, and it cannot be negated. This card only negates evil enhancements at the cost of making sure that your whole team is the same book. If not, it negates your enhancements too, which is sad. So, and this doesn't have a CBN. It doesn't have any modifiers. I don't love it. I mean, silver does have worse negates than gold. So, I mean, this is maybe it's one of silver's better negates overall. But honestly, I'm questioning Do Not Question. I can see it being played, but it's just not impressive to me. Um, cool art though, very cool art. And you might have to play it because silver doesn't have the best negates in the world. So let's check out what else we got here. 1,290 days. Black Evil Enhancement 5/1. Negate a good card. You may activate an idol from deck or selected player must draw one. Cannot be prevented. So a CBP negate means you can play this in special initiative. You can activate an idol from deck or select player must draw. So we got the Greek thing again here. The Greeks love their idols. They love making people draw one. It's going to depend on how good idols are. Like we talked about this dominant from yesterday, that they can keep on activating idols over and over again. I can see this being played. It's not like insane, but it could be a great card. It all depends on how strong the idols are to back it up. But definitely sounds usable. I think it's a mid power level card, something that I think could see plays. And we got another Behold the Lord again, so I'm not going to show that one. Clash with Persia. 1/4. Discard a card. Its controller must discard a card. Its controller must draw one. If used by a Greek, repeat up to one time, so we get the repeat effect coming back in. Cannot be prevented. So, if you're playing this on a Greek character, you get to discard 2 cards. Your opponent must draw one twice, triggering your anti-draw cards. CVP on this card, again, no negate, no interrupt the battle, so this is a slow card. But I also point out that it's discard a card, which means you can hit fortresses you can meet, hit other random things in their territory, maybe a dominant. So it does have some flexibility. See the good modifier CVP, that's nice. I'd give this mid to low level power in my mind. I like the flexibility. I like the cannot be prevented, and the fact that you can trigger your Greek stuff twice. But it's slow, so I'm not sure if that'll see a lot of play or not. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not expecting to see that one see a ton of play, but it could. It depends on how good the draw one trigger things are. So let's check out our final pack here. We got an idol to check out. So an idol that our Greek characters will be using a lot. Let's see if this juice is worth the squeeze. Abomination of Desolation, idol. You may reserve this card to discard a hero. While you control an evil Greek, if an opponent draws because of an ability, discard a card in their territory. So that is an impressive card to bring out with your idols. So you can reserve this card to discard a hero. Just to point out for you, if you use an ability to bring this out during combat and you reserve this card to discard their last hero, they do get special initiative, but they have to target an artifact, which is not in battle, so interrupt the battle will not affect it, usually, in 99% of the cases. So it is harder to negate artifacts in battle than just normal enhancements. So this might be... I'm assuming if Greeks are good, this is one of their good tools here. And then they have the punish on the draw ability. If they draw because of an ability, your ability usually, but it could be their own ability, you discard the card in their territory. That can trigger up to 4 times per turn. So they draw 3 times, like you force them to draw twice and they draw on their own. Boom, 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 you're blowing up cards in their territory. Abomination of Desolation seems like a really good card. No modifier, but still pretty good. Able to be recycled a lot by the offense, by the defense, by the Greek defense. Seems like a really good card here. We got a new prophet here. Malachi the Loved. Minor Prophet. You may look at the top 4 cards of a deck. Take up to 1. No, of deck. You take up to 1. You may underdeck the rest. May ban to a Minor Prophet. So a 3/5 Prophet. He lets you take the best card out of your top 4 cards. And you can leave them there or you can underdeck the rest. And it lets you ban to a Minor Prophet. So no modifier on this guy, but otherwise he seems pretty good. Good low stats for good initiative. You're going to be banding, so you might not have great initiative after the ban, but setting up a banding chain, he could be really good. So I would not be surprised to see this guy seeing a lot of play if Prophets is good. Being able to band to a minor prophet seems nice. Taking the card from deck seems nice. Obviously, I missed the modifier, but you can't have everything. Looks like a fun card. Okay. Seleucus the Victorious, Greek king, 4/5. X is equal to the number of heroes in battle. You may draw X or discard an artifact. If opponent has drawn 5 or more cards this turn, you may play an Old Testament Black enhancement. Okay, so we have to note here that playing an enhancement by ability is one of the strongest things in the game for defenses. The ability is just like, hey, no, before you do anything, I get to play an enhancement. Because in Redemption, even if your character as a 4/5 would get an initiative against a larger character, they may just stop you from doing it by playing a dominant, playing, say, Angel of the Lord and killing your king, or playing Glory of the Lord and preventing enhancements from being played. So, a character that allows yourself to play your own enhancement is very powerful. Um, Heroes in Battle has to be 5, though, right? Or no, sorry. The X is for the draw. So, if they have 3 heroes, you draw 3, draw 4. That's not 3 heroes, you draw 3, 4 heroes, you draw 4. And then if your opponent has drawn 5 or more cards this turn, that means they've drawn 2 extra from their initial 3, because everybody draws 3 at the beginning of the turn. You get to play an Old Testament Black enhancement. So this seems pretty good. He does not have, cannot be prevented, so he could be prevented. But it seems very strong to me. I like this card. The ability to draw or hit an artifact, and that ability to play an enhancement if they have drawn this turn. I think that's really powerful. So I'm giving this guy a thumbs up. Very cool. Seleucus the Victorious. He definitely seems like he'll be victorious sometimes here. And is this a new cherubim? I'm not sure. I think that's a different art than we've seen. You may draw one or restrict players from searching any reserve. May ban 2 cherubim, an Old Testament prophet, or a clay priest. Actually, I do believe you've seen this one. So for generic characters, if they have different art, you can use different versions of them. But I think we've seen this run already. I think there's 3 or 4 cherubims that you can use in the game right now. And they're generic, so you can use all of them that have different arts. So very cool. I think we talked about this one before. He seems okay to me, not amazing. If you're just doing this whole cherubim thing, he seems like better than the group of them would be better than the sum of their. The group of them would be more than the sum of their parts. So, anyways, very cool set of cards today. Highlights from today. 2 big highlights to me are our Abomination of Desolation and our Michael. So let's pull these up again. Abomination of Desolation, very cool card. Very hard to stop in special initiative. And the punishment on them drawing, you're forcing them to draw. Very cool. And finally, last but not least, our ultra rare, very cool, Michael the Guardian. Banding to 2 heroes on his own, that's always an amazing ability. CBN and protection for your Daniel heroes, making sure that they don't get removed from the game, making sure that they don't get sent to your reserve. You can just chuck them back into your deck. That's really cool. So, Michael, very nice. Very cool card. Great art. I'm excited. That's fun. Cool. Thank you for joining me. Have a good night.